Hey everybody, Justin McGlennon here from Roll Potential. Thanks for joining us today. What I want to talk about today is I want to talk about regenerative sales. What is it? Because unfortunately in sales, most teams are exhausted, especially after coming out of a quarter, maybe getting ready to ramp up for the next quarter. But in sales, unfortunately, there's burnout, there's high turnover, and a lot of times it's because of the grind that goes with sales. It's this constant pressure that us as salespeople have to push harder and harder every single quarter. If you're in sales, I'm sure you felt it. You might even be feeling it now. But what if I told you there's a different way? But it's not softer, it's not weaker, it's actually stronger. And that's what I want to do today. I want to introduce you to something called regenerative sales. It's a way of selling that renews energy, builds trust, and actually makes sales more sustainable. And I'm going to give you a simple tool that you can use to kind of get a test of where are you today, and are you already on the path, or are you ready to get on it? So let's be honest. The way most sales teams operate is designed for short-term wins. And what that does is it just results and leaves people burned out. A few quick stats. Sales turnover, it's almost double that of other professions, 35% every year. More than half of reps expect to leave their job within 3 years. And the number one reason, it's not pay, it's not compensation or commission structures, it's not performance, it's burnout. And that's because the old model, it's like sprinting a marathon. It's impossible. Of course you're going to burn out. Yes, numbers do often get hit, and companies are very excited because the numbers are hit, but it's not sustainable. Why? Because people are getting crushed. And that's where regenerative sales comes into play. Instead of extracting more and more energy, it's about pacing renewal and guiding people along the journey so both that the team and the buyer can actually. So what is regenerative sales really? A different path, plain and simple. So let's break it down. For leaders, it means you're no longer the drill sergeant barking orders. It means you're the guide. You're setting the pace. You're watching the trail, and you're making sure that your team has everything that they need to keep going. For salespeople, it's not just about the next close. And I know that might be really hard not to think about because it is very, very important to us. But more importantly, it's about consistency. It's about belonging. And it's making sure that you're able to sustain your energy. And then for our buyers, it means that they're not feeling pressured, they're not feeling manipulated, but rather they're feeling guided. Think of it like hiking. Just like we wouldn't sprint a marathon, we wouldn't sprint to the top of a summit of a mountain. You have to pace yourself. There's times where you need to stop, take in the view, look at what you have accomplished, right? Let's get excited about the opportunity, not let's get excited when we get the signature, which can be very, very hard and a tough mindset to fall into. But it's about conserving energy. It's about making sure that the entire group makes it to the top together. Not just one rep, not just two reps, but every rep makes it to the top. And that's what in sales is regenerative. It's steady, it's progress, it's not constant burnout. Now, here's where I want you to get practical. This week, I want you to run a quick culture pulse quiz. 5 reflection questions. You could ask them to yourself. You could ask them in one-on-ones, but I would recommend go ahead and use them in your next team meeting. Here's the 5 questions. When numbers dip, do we either A, panic, or B, do we pause, reflect, and learn? 2, in pipeline review meetings, do we only track and worry about the status of our opportunities? Or do we look at and try to understand the patterns that are shaping our reps' behaviors and our culture? Number 3, do we celebrate only quota wins? Or do we also celebrate culture wins? We're talking about things like resilience, teamwork, renewal. Number 4, when new hires join, do they have to adapt to, hey, this is how we've always done it? Or is our culture willing to flex and be able to utilize and include their strengths? And the last one, number 5, when leaders show up, do they lead from pressure and fear? Or are they leading from trust and guidance? And again, here's my test, here's my challenge for you. Take these questions, utilize them in a team meeting. Go ahead and ask people. Get a sense, are you leaning more this way or that way? If you're leaning more towards the second answers, then that's amazing. You're already on the path. Congratulations. Now you know what the path is called. But if you're leaning more towards the other way, then this might be a great opportunity to go ahead and start to test out another path and see how it can go. So I would challenge you to use these questions in your next team meeting. Comment. Let us know what question you used, even if you only use one and pick one. Let us know how it goes. Let us know, where you lead to or what it led to in terms of a next step. We'd love to hear it. But why is this important? It's important because we have to remember that just because it was taught before and it was the way of sales, the whole grind, sales doesn't have to drain us of our energy. It doesn't have to lead to burnout. With regenerative sales, you don't just close deals, but rather you build a culture that lasts. And that's what's really, really important. That's why I love regenerative sales. So thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Hope to see you again soon.